All right, let's take a look at money mindset. I've got this phrase on this slide that says you were trained to be middle class. And literally, that's what's happening. Your programming from the time you were a little child suggested to you that you were supposed to work for somebody else, that you were supposed to do what other people told you to do, that you were supposed to live the status quo and just go along with the motions. Jobs were security. Being a business owner, doing your own thing was risky. Those are all functions of the system that has taught and trained you to behave the way that you do. So what I call lifestyle creep, and what many others in the industry call lifestyle creep, is this cycle on the screen. We're taught to get an education, to work hard, try to please our boss, get a raise, take on more responsibility. As that raise comes in, we spend more, and then we run out of money, and then we work harder, and then we get a raise and we spend more money and we run out of money, and on and on and on and on and on it goes. It is so frustrating, isn't it? To be on this hamster wheel, to be on the treadmill of life that says there's never enough. But the reality is there is enough and to spare. The world that God created for us, and I'm a believer in God, so I'm going to use that language. God created for us a beautiful world full of all the resources that we need. And when we first developed the world that we live in, we took the raw materials and we transformed those raw materials into useful tools. The hides of animals that fed us turned into clothing, and perhaps baskets. The living organisms of this world, the plants and the shrubs and the flowing water and the animals and the critters, all of those things provide for variety and interesting opportunity to find beauty all around us. But we've kind of lost sight of all that. The ingenuity that we were born with, the creative capacity that we have, has often left us because of how the world has taught us to just go with the status quo, to do what everyone else is doing. And there's a certain amount of safety and consistency that comes with that. There's no doubt. Our brains can only handle so much, but I'm sure there's something within you that caused you to want to be a part of this course, something burning in you that's trying to get out, trying to make it so that you can do something better, something more impactful. Perhaps the work you do is enjoyable, but the work environment is not. So you want to change to a different company. Perhaps the work you do isn't enjoyable anymore and you want to change careers. Well, the only way that's really going to happen effectively is if you get some surplus in the bank, instead of spending it all, have a system in place that will cause you automatically to build up some wealth so that you can say no to the circumstances you're not okay with any longer and move into an empowered state where you can do the things that you actually want to do. So, as I talked about in the financial freedom video, this is simple, but I know it's not that easy because we're trained to do things a certain way, and we might have to check our beliefs about what we're doing, step back and take a look at our circumstances in our life and say, am I okay with this really? And if not, what am I willing to do to change? Quick story. I met with a man recently in a one-on-one conversation. Lives in Alabama. He is a worker, a technician in the HVAC world, heating and air conditioning. He's been at it for 40 years. He said his back's hurt, his hips hurt. He was in some sort of accident. And so his ability to do other things isn't that high. The gentleman is making 40,000 a year after, excuse me, I said 40 years. He's 26 years. 26 years in business doing the same type of work, but stuck. In fact, he's in debt. And he'll probably have to sell his house, he said, in retirement because he just has nothing. He has less than $20,000 in savings for retirement. This man's near retirement. He's in his late 50s. I was so saddened by this. And so I said, look, there's really not much I can do for you in the moment. But what I can do is make some suggestions. Have you looked into other work opportunities? Have you looked into getting some training to do other types of work? And it was negative, negative, negative. Yeah, the local community college, they don't provide enough. Yeah, their career center's crappy. All the HVAC companies in the community, this is all that they're willing to pay. And I said, well, sir, listen, I know others who are in your same industry who are making $75,000 to $150,000. Don't you think it's possible that if you changed your thinking about this, that you could find better work and actually have some surplus to help you prepare for retirement? And I don't know, he was, the guy was just jaded on life. And I know that happens, but we can't let it happen for too long. We have to step beyond circumstance and realize that we have power to do what we want to do. If your vision is big enough, you will find a way to accomplish it. I assure you of that. And one of my great mentors, his name was Jim Rohn. He's passed away as well, but he is one of the greats in personal development and business success. And he taught me that you need to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Number one rule of success: work harder on yourself. Look introspectively, develop who you are, develop your talents, abilities, know what you care about, what the values are that you have in life, what matters most, and work harder on you than you do on your job. And if you'll do that, then you'll become the type of person who's worthy of the abundance that's available and the opportunities to receive the wealth that you can financially to accomplish the dreams that you really want to achieve. So no longer will we just stick with the status quo of being middle class. We may stay in that spectrum of reality within our system, but we don't have to live that way. We can choose to live in a wealthy mindset in a wealthy way, even with the modest resources that you may have. So whether you are a really high income earner or whether you are a low income earner, there are systems that you will learn in this course that will help you to have an automated way of building wealth and having more choices and options to fulfill your vision.